Hi guys, this is a redirect to my reaction to The Walking Dead Season 1 Episode 3, another great episode. I'm really liking this TV show, but I feel like they go a bit too overboard with the killing and beating up for the sake of like getting more gore in, or like for the sake of having more violence. And I feel like, you know, like realistically speaking, you'd be a little bit less. I mean, like, I'm just like thinking, like, why would you overkill a zombie? I mean, I know, like, even that they're very durable, but you need to hit the head, you know, like, you can't hit the body. It's the head that needs to get shot, or you throw an arrow at the head, and that's that. But anyway, regarding that, so apart from that, I mean, like, so we saw Rick and the team of in his team of survivors. They reunited with the other team of survivors who were at that camp in the forest area, in Atlanta, so Rick was able to reunite with his wife and son, and that was really nice to see. It was a bit awkward at times because like Laurie, she had that affair going on with Shane, but she really believed that Rick was dead, which is why she had, you know, in the previous episode, but like surely I just think like she just, I mean, if I was, I'm just like thinking, if I was in her shoes, like if I found out that, oh, my husband is like somewhere out there, I'd still be hopeful that he's alive to some extent at least. Like, I don't know, but like, it's like she really believed that he was dead, and she really, because Shane told her that. I understand that Shane told her that, and like gave reason that Atlanta, what was it, the hospital was taken over or something. So it's really unlikely that he's gonna come out alive. But like, you know, like if you're in love with someone, you still have that hope, if you get what I mean. Anyway, so she, I mean, she was relieved, obviously, like, and she had reconciliation with Rick. It seemed that they made love during the night, and so like Shane, he was like, he's very close to Carl, and I find that even though he's not the father, obviously, but like that fatherly son bond is like, it's really heartwarming. He wanted to go fishing with Carl, and because it's his first time fishing, and Carl, he couldn't find any fish, and so at the beginning we saw Merle, and he was like, he was really desperate to escape because he was left behind in the previous episode. So he was handcuffed in the roof, and he was trying to get out of his handcuffs, but there was no handcuff key, so he couldn't do that. So he was just stuck there, and there were like zombies outside trying to come in. So I just, like, we didn't know what happened next, but there were tools right next to where he was. So he tried to grab one of the tools, and at the very end we found out that he actually cut his hand off as a way to finally get out. He was so desperate, like it was a really desperate situation to like escape. So the mission was that after the reunion with Rick and his wife and the two sisters, the two blonde sisters, Andrea and Amy, yeah, their reunion, sweet reunion, and so like, and then Rick told Laurie that he has to go back to find Merle, and we actually met DARYL DIXON, who is Merle's brother. I guess younger brother. He does look like he would be the younger brother, and he seems to be a very bad savage boy himself, just like Merle. He runs in the family, I guess. I don't know if I'm gonna like him, but I mean, it's interesting. Like, you know, like different character personalities, and he seems to be like quite the savage as well, like trying to kill zombies. And he was mad at Rick for leaving behind Merle when he found out. because he was hoping that Merle would be at Atlanta at the camp, but he's not. So they went back to find Merle, but unfortunately for DARYL and everyone, they couldn't find Merle in the roof because he cut his hand off, so he must be somewhere else, losing a lot of blood, or dead. That would be unfortunate if he's dead. I don't, man. If he's dead, then DARYL's definitely not going to forgive Rick and them for leaving him in the first place. Oh man, I can just see a scenario in my head where I'm just like, oh, he's gonna like try to kill Rick or something if he's dead or something. So yeah, they still haven't found Merle. He escaped somewhere. Oh, by the way, the spoiler that I found out about. Okay, this is a bit of a complicated one. So like I never knew that I'd start a reaction channel like a few years ago. So, and a lot of people like talking about The Walking Dead as well as Breaking Bad, but it's about The Walking Dead that I knew a bit more information about, I think. And so there were a lot of reactors a few years ago reacting to The Walking Dead. So although I don't know any spoilers apart from that one big spoiler that I found out about, although I'm not entirely 100% sure whether that really happened, but basically I just remembered it after someone told me to not get too fond of Glenn, apparently, and then I was just like, why are you telling me to not get fond of Glenn? Like, that was a comment that was made when I was posting the reaction to episode 2. So I was just like, dude, like, if you hint that, then I'm immediately going to think that, oh, is it because he's going to die later on? Is that why you're telling me not to get too close to him, not to like get too fond of him? So like, then I remembered a spoiler that I actually heard a very, very long time ago, that apparently Glenn dies at some point in the series, and that's a really big shame to know, but I don't know how he dies. I mean, it's a zombie apocalypse, so he probably dies from getting bitten or something, I don't know, but like, I don't know the whole context of this. All I know is that he dies at some point. I don't know when he dies, I don't know how he dies, I don't know where he dies, I just know that he dies at some point. So that's a spoiler that I just remembered from a very long time ago when people were like talking about The Walking Dead on YouTube, and I accidentally stumbled upon a spoiler back then, and then that comment that was made just recently just triggered my memory. If it wasn't that person triggering my memory, oh, I probably would have forgotten about that spoiler. I'm not entirely sure, because the name Glenn came up like back then, like people were like mad or something. All I remember that people were like mad about something about The Walking Dead, like something that happens in The Walking Dead, but I didn't know what exactly. I think it was something to do with Glenn or his death. So yeah, it sucks knowing that, but I just wanted to let you know that, as well as just don't spoil me in the comment section. Like, don't give me his. If you give me his, then I automatically get the idea that he's gonna die or that something else is gonna happen. Like, I come to conclusions with the hints, so even if you hint or give me a clue, really don't, because I will figure it out, probably. 99% of the time I will figure it out. Even if you just give like the littlest hint, I will figure it out. So this really shouldn't do that to me, okay? They didn't blatantly spoil me, but they hinted at it just by saying don't get too close to Glenn, don't like him too much. But like, you know, like, if you tell me that, then I'm automatically going to think that that person is going to die, then that character is going to like either leave or die. But you know, it's a zombie apocalypse situation, so most likely characters are going to die rather than leave the show, you know. Yeah, just please don't give me any hints whatsoever. I don't want to know. So yeah, that's all I have to say. So what do you think of this episode? Let me know and stay tuned for more.